Welcome in, episode 53, Ramie and Drew. I am the Ramie half of that. That is the Drew half of that. We're a couple of Milwaukee comedians. We talk about sports and whatever other else might come to our stupid brains at any given moment. We come to you after a Brewers comeback comes up short this evening, Drew, against the Pittsburgh Pirates. We were going to go live at like 9:30, and I was like, you know what? Let's after the grand slam in the bottom of the eighth, I was like, let's wait this thing out. This is all of a sudden a very interesting baseball game, and a lot of people probably turned it on and wouldn't be watching or listening to us on Spotify, YouTube, and Apple. So here we are, but alas, the comeback came up just a little bit short.
Yep, just like the last podcast. That's why you can't give extra strikes to people also. Change the dynamic of that game. Hey, oh yeah, William Contreras, why don't you go sit down for looking at a ball? And then the same pitch gets thrown to Brian Reynolds. Well, why don't you make it 5 for 5 with 4 more bases?
Dude, baseball is my favorite sport, but the umpiring and specifically the issue with strike zones is one of my least favorite things in all the sports.
You know, it like at this point, it like the Twitter handle's right. It's the ump show. I don't care if you're a Cubs fan, a Brewers fan, a Cardinals fan, a Yankees fan. This is all horseshit. It is so. It's like we know we're doing a bad job, and now they're gonna punish the fans for it. It's like it feels personal how shit they are. And like listening to that guy, first of all, the Brewers fan, that guy, total Chad, just giving Malachi the business those last couple innings. That guy was great on TV. Shouts out to
Wait, you know who that is? You know who that is? The guy that was yelling at the umpires?
No, it wasn't Jeff Levering.
Oh, okay.
No, I just know, like, okay, so there was the guy, the one dude outed himself that was yapping at the Pacers bench the entire game. That guy rules. So somebody, you know what? If anybody knows who the guy was that was giving Malachi the business, that was clean, and he was right about everything he was saying. So I don't know, like I don't feel bad for these umps for getting hell, because these umps are like, it's not just Angel Hernandez, but it's a lot of these guys are like, we're fucking up. Our percentages are awful with getting calls correct, and we don't care. Like these guys don't, like, I would like them to sit down, give them their little spray sheet and everything. Oh, what'd you get right? What'd you get wrong? And these are big plays. Oh, the crowd wasn't pleased that everyone else in the stadium seeing, given it's a hometown crowd, so everything goes our way, nothing goes against us.
No, but not only do they not care, they're defiant. You know what I mean? Like instead of like owning up to it and being like, hey man, it's a tough job, you know what I mean? And I'm gonna miss a few. They get like upset and defiant about it, and they let their egos get in the way of doing their jobs.
That's why the Twitter handle "Welcome to the Ump Show" exists.
Yes,
it's because the umps are making this shit about themselves. And it's like, it's just they're absolutely horrible. And now, am I a little bit salty that the Brewers have not been the benefactors of any of these calls? Yeah. The last couple of weeks? Yeah. I don't really necessarily care. I mean, the
they've
Brewers
had some tough ones go against them tonight. And tonight, or this season, they've had some tough ones go against them this season. And tonight, for those who don't know what we're talking about, there was what should have been a called third strike that was called the ball, and that was followed by a home run. Now, it ended up not mattering because the Brewers didn't score in the bottom of the ninth, but that changes the complexion and the momentum of the game also.
But one run against the closer, I would rather have a one run, go being down 1 than 2 against the closer.
Yep.
I mean,
and what I've said for years, Drew, is that this isn't even a knock on umpires when I say that they're bad at calling balls and strikes, because it's literally damn near impossible. Every other thing that requires that level of precision, we've handed over to technology. The ball is moving 90 to 100 miles an hour. It's moving up to 12 inches in any direction, up, down, left, right, or diagonal. And to think that these guys are going to be able to follow that with the naked eye and accurately call balls and strikes is ridiculous. And it's even more ridiculous that we know we have the technology. It's on our TV screens. We know we have the technology, and they just choose not to use it because the umpires' egos are somehow hurt by the idea of getting some help from technology and making sure that we get these calls right. And I don't want to hear this human element is part of the game bullshit. That's what makes umpires think that they're the show. When you say the human element of the umpires is part of the game, you're saying part of the reason you're there to watch is umpires. And I'm here to tell you, I'm not. I just want the calls to be right, and the human element can be the players dropping an easy fly ball or whatever the case might be.
There's no reason that the human element should exist with the umpires and only the umpire. Because when they started putting challenges and getting the iPads and everything in the dugouts and stuff, the managers have legit gripes. They can actually look at this. The human element thing went out the window when we essentially took away the ability of a guy like a Lou Piniella or a Tony La Russa coming out into the batter's box, screaming at an umpire, telling them that they're blind, they don't know what they're looking at. You get all these managers that were, kicking dirt and stuff, throwing bases, making a spectacle. That was a show. That was the human element. It's my naked eye versus your naked eye. I don't agree with you. I saw something different, but now the managers have the technology and they can sit there and go, oh, I have a video team that's feeding me that Angel Hernandez or Malachi, whatever his name was. You are fucking wrong. You are wrong consistently. I can show you on the iPad where you're wrong. We have evidence that you're wrong. And these guys go, fuck you, get out of the game. It's like there is no human element because these guys, they can be presented with all of it, all the evidence. And they can go, no, there's no human element. So I don't want to watch the umpires. I don't want to see the guy in the goddamn blue jacket on Sunday afternoon games. I don't like that they get different uniforms. Fuck them. Put the garbage bags out there. You don't get sponsorships. Screw the umps.
Do they have sponsor badges?
In July is a blessing.
Do they have sponsor badges? Do they have sponsor badges on the umpire uniforms?
They do. I think it's it starts with a U, I think, right? Like it looks like a freighter patch, but it's not. It's no, like the umpires are sponsorships.
That's ridiculous.
It is.
That's ridiculous. And they're toying with this thing.
You should be in Gladbach, fucking clowns.
They're toying with this idea. I'm not sure if it's in the minors or one of the independent leagues that are affiliated with Major League Baseball, where they've toyed with these rules changes over the last few years, where a hitter can challenge one pitch per at bat. I don't know if the pitchers can too, but I know the hitters can challenge one pitch per at bat, and it's instant. So like you challenge, and the umpire hits a little thing, on his belt or whatever, and there's somebody sitting up in the booth with their little whatever technology they're using to call balls and strikes and see if the ball went through the strike zone, and they immediately send the signal back down to the umpire, ball or strike. I don't even want that. That's not even enough. Just electronic strike zone across the board, every pitch. I want technology calling balls and strikes on every single pitch.
Yeah, let the robots tell the umpires how to do their jobs. Make it like the McDonald's drive-thru.
Yes.
I don't give a shit. Yeah. Tell them yes or no.
And that's not removing umpires.
If it hurts
the umpires. That's not removing umpires from the game. It's giving them another tool, man, to get the calls right.
Right. That'd be like telling the carpenter, no, you can't use a laser level. Go use a tape measure. Go get
exactly.
5 right angles out of your truck.
Exactly.
No, it's like a laser level. It's fine.
It's pretty dumb. It's pretty dumb that we're still doing this.
If Rob Manfred, who's already hell-bent in taking the fun out of goddamn baseball, a game, okay, fine. Then you know what? Get the umpires out of there because they're not fun to watch. You know who I like watching? I like watching William Contreras bat. Oh, but you got some cocksucker behind home plate that goes, nah, you don't get a bat anymore because I'm tired. I heard Stephen A. Smith said you don't get room service after 9:30 in Milwaukee. Well, we better end this one quick. You fucking wetback.
Did Stephen A. really say that?
I'm not even mad about the Brewers losing. I'm just mad that umpires are so much like, yeah, brazenly. We suck. Who cares?
That's the thing. They're brazen and defiant about it. That is
kick and save.
That you need to calm down a little bit. That is what bothers me the most is how they're brazen and defiant about their bad job. They're being bad at their jobs.
If I wanted a bad product and somebody to be like, yes, so I would go to Burger King. Hey, I ordered a Whopper. Why the fuck did
Burger King want?
They're like, what? And you're like, yeah,
you know what? Burger King wanted to sponsor the show. What if Burger King wanted to sponsor the show?
If Burger King wanted to sponsor the show, I wouldn't. I would be like, you know what? It's the Ramie and Burger King show.
I'll take that money. I don't even.
Take the money.
Least.
Yeah, Burger King is trashed here. Do we want to get into that, or is this our ranking fast food? Burger King is the worst.
It is. I'm not gonna lie. It is. It absolutely is.
Open up near your home and your property value increases.
But the money, the money spends, dude. The checks cash. I don't care. I don't care that they're the worst fast food.
You know,
you're not helping.
When you go to Taco Bell, after a certain time,
I don't go to Taco Bell.
They're like, did you order on? Oh, they're like, we only have 3 items for you if you didn't use your phone. And you're like, oh, okay, cool. What's that?
Did they really do that?
It's in like a tortilla chip. And you're like, oh, good. I'll get 20 of those.
Can you hear me? Do they really do that?
Yeah. Well, the one by my house on 76th in Oklahoma, that Taco Bell, are they going to sponsor us? That place sucks. That place is hell. It's next to the worst McDonald's on the planet. The best restaurant in that little like 3 restaurant radius right there is Little
Caesars. They look good.
It's fucking Little Caesars. Little Caesars is a good restaurant that you go to.
Have you tried the little what are the little pizza things?
Don't order on the mobile app. I haven't tried anything at Taco Bell.
No, I'm talking about it at Little Caesars. They're like little mini pizzas. Like they're little I don't even know what they are, but everybody was talking about them for a minute.
Bagel bites?
No, they're not bagel bites. I don't know what they are. But everybody was
talking about Little Caesars.
It was one particular thing at Little Caesars.
Is everybody you know being still hit by their stepdad? Why the fuck are they eating at Little Caesars?
Hold on. No, I don't want you.
Box scoring a crash.
Crazy Puffs. They're called Crazy Puffs. They're pocket-sized pieces of pizza bliss.
Yeah.
And no, it wasn't anybody I talked to directly. It was on, the social medias, on the Twitters and whatnot.
That's good. Because the problem I have with Little Caesars is the food they sell fits in my pocket. That's the issue.
I don't think they intend for you to actually put them in your pocket. They're just describing the size of them. They're not telling you to actually they don't want you to put the Crazy Puffs in your pocket.
Well, you said it's pocket size. Like,
yes, dude, that's just a description of the size. That's all that is.
Have you ever described a pen as being pocket sized, or it's just kind of assumed? I put pens in the pocket. You know what happens with those pens? They go to the washing machine.
You are on them tonight. Are you okay? Are you still sick? What is going on? Are you feeling better?
I've survived it. It's I'm feeling the effects of it. I have more energy than the last one.
There you go.
But
you're ornery. You're cranky. Have you not eaten because you're not feeling well? Is this because your wiffle ball team is bad because you didn't ask me to join the team?
Yeah, we're cursed actually. Yeah. We had to play the former champs of the league, last year, and we had to play without like our players tonight. So,
maybe if your bench was a little deeper.
See, the problem is we can't have people that don't hit come up and then like waste an entire inning of making all outs.
What makes you think I wouldn't hit, dude? I played baseball till I was 20. I still go to the batting cages.
That was 24 years ago.
I still go to the batting cages. occasionally, like once a year. I can hit a ball. It's a skill I've had my entire life.
It moves a lot.
I understand that. I know wiffle ball is different than hitting a regular baseball. It does have that wonky movement to it. I'll figure it out, bro. There might be a learning curve. You know what I mean? Right. But I can hit a ball with a stick. It's what I do.
My cousin Joey had a calf injury. He's not Greek, but he had a calf injury because what he was doing is he tore his calf off, I guess, with a stick because he was driving a golf cart on a golf course and decided, you know where my legs should be? Outside the moving vehicle. And I guess ran into a stick and fucking kebabbed himself. So now...
Oh, God, are you serious?
Yeah, now I'm down a cousin. So, I don't know. Fucking come play wiffle ball next week. I don't give a shit. Do you own red?
My cousin Joey sounds very Italian. The way you started that sentence, very Italian. My cousin Joey.
Well, Joseph. He's Polish and German like me.
Is that a common name among the Polish and the German? I wasn't aware that Joseph was a common. I mean, I guess it is just a Catholic thing, right?
Yeah, Joseph.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know.
A saint. He was a saint.
Yeah.
Joseph.
We don't call him Joe because he doesn't fucking smoke. Not like a mechanic.
Fair. That's fair. All right, yeah, I might come out and swing the old wiffle ball bat next week.
Yeah.
Other than tonight, and you weren't able to continue the longest winning streak that anybody has against any team in baseball, with being the Brewers winning streak over the Cardinals. It ended yesterday, but man, you gotta feel good about taking 3 and 4 over the weekend from the Cardinals. Because fuck the Cardinals, and you should be able to snag the next 2 from Pittsburgh, take 2 of 3 in this series.
Oh, dude, I mean, I think I texted you on Saturday the Fox coverage of it's like just nauseating listening to Fox for whatever reason.
They were
out why the Cardinals are just absolute bottom of the barrel trash right now. Like Paul Goldschmidt, he's a great baseball player. He's making like $30 million a year, so we don't know why he's a wet dog ass right now. It's like because he's 45 years old, he's been in the league for a zillion years, and now everyone's throwing 4 miles an hour faster than they used to, and that's above bat speed. His bat speed is declining. It's not fucking hard. It's not physics, or it's not astrophysics to figure out why an old gray man can't hit a baseball anymore. It's because these young Latina boys are throwing the ball fucking 1,000 miles an hour.
It's not just the Latino boys.
It's sure, the white guys they're getting it up there too.
The white guys, the black guys, everybody's throwing harder.
Yeah, everyone's out there throwing. Like, remember when it was crazy when you're like, holy shit, we got this prospect coming up. He throws like 97.
Yeah.
A middle reliever now. Oh, but why is Paul Goldschmidt batting 168? Why is he just a dog turd on the fucking sidewalk?
No, I was watching that game, and Drew, I don't have a dog in that fight, except that I hate the Cardinals more than anything in sports, more than a lot of things outside the world of sports, if we're being real. But those announcers were very, very Cardinal heavy on the way that they were calling that game. I don't know who. I know John Smoltz was a color analyst. I honestly don't know or don't remember who the play-by-play guy was, but they were so excited when he got that hit in the 9th inning to not go 0 for 5 and to extend the game one more batter before they really lost. But the whole game, dude, they were just all over the Cardinals, and it was nauseating.
Smoltz is Smoltz played for the Cardinals, and I mean, I remember this was a couple years after like the 2011 Brewers team, and Smoltz was calling a game. It was Brewers Cardinals, obviously, and I just remember he couldn't get Giovanni Gallardo's name right at all. It just Gallardo.
I remember that.
Gallardo, but it was
yeah.
And and Carp and Waino and but it's like you got Yavini Gallardo. That guy, he's got a curveball, I think. It's like fucking act like you even give a shit, Smoltz. I'll cave your skull in too. It's just.
I will say this for a couple of years there, John Smoltz would spend most of the games that I watched where he was in the announcer booth. He'd spend most of the game talking about what he hates about the game today, about analytics have ruined it. He's pulled back on that bullshit. That was annoying, dude, because it's like I'm trying to watch and enjoy the game, and you're sitting here telling me why it sucks. Like, you're not helping. You're not adding to the enjoyment of baseball whatsoever. Get a podcast and call it Why Baseball Sucks Now. But during the game, just call the fucking game, dude, and try to add something that makes it a more enjoyable, more entertaining product.
Well, and the other thing too is like I hate those they want to they want to poo-poo analytics and stuff like that. Like that's irritating. Like I understand when it goes too far. Like there was a couple of years ago when people were like, well, actually your best hitter should bat second. It's like, well, you still want them with a couple guys on base. Like, I don't know. It was always, your highest on base percentage guy was your leadoff guy. The dude who's going to hit, take, walks and everything, work deep counts. That's going to be that guy. Then you're going to have your kind of lighter hitting contact guy who's like a singles dude, but it's got a little bit of speed and contact to move the guy over. And then your highest gap to gap over the fence guy, that's probably going to be your 3-hitter. And then your pure power guy is 4. But they're like, actually, we don't really have a lot of use for that number 2 spot. It's like, all right, fine, whatever. I don't know shit. And then guess what? The league has completely went back to, oh yeah, your highest on base percentage and slugging guy. Yeah, that's actually your number 3-hitter. Like, oh really?
You're not gonna like this. I don't think batting order matters all that much. I think you want your best hitters at the top so that they get to the plate the most, and you want your worst hitters at the bottom. And outside of that, I don't think it really fucking matters because you can't, like, whatever game situation you have in your head where you get your best batter up to the plate, it's a 1 in 9 shot. Like, it's just that there's no changing that. You know what I mean? Batting order does largely not matter. And I know that's an analytics thing, and I kind of believe in the best hitter batting second, but all in all, second, third, first, I just want my best hitter up there so he's going to get to the plate as many times as possible. And then I'm just going to cross my fingers and hope that he gets to the plate in the situations where I want my best hitters at the plate.
Yeah, also you just want to turn the lineup over and over.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I don't know. Like, I'm not going to get too much into that. I'm happy with, like, ultimately, despite my demeanor, I'm happy with how the Brewers have been playing. So I don't have a
weird.
lot.
It's not showing. It's not showing.
I don't have complaints about the team. Like, it's honestly the shit around baseball that annoys me. It's just like it's
no, you're right.
Because like you turn on,
and I do fear.
I shouldn't know.
I do fear because the game has been. I like most of the rules changes that they've added in the last few years. I also happen to think that a lot of those were at the urging of Theo Epstein, who was in Rob Manfred's office and in his ear for a few years there. He's back with the Red Sox. He gave him like an ownership stake and like some kind of position. So he's not there anymore. And I wonder and I worry if that means that this progress that we've seen in baseball is going to slow down or go away.
Well, let me ask you this with like the umpire problem. How many umpires' names do you know off the top of your head?
Only the bad ones.
There you go. That's a problem. But like how many? Yep. How many? 5, 6?
Yeah, probably in that neighborhood.
How many players? How many players on the Tampa Bay Rays can you name me?
Most. I mean, not most of them, but probably most of their starting lineup or roundabouts.
All right, I'm just trying to pick an obscure team. I was like Mariners.
I've said before.
Can you name me more or less? Can you name me more Mariners or starting Mariners than you can name me umpires? I'm trying to think like the smaller market team.
Yeah, it would be close. But I get the point that you're making. I've made the same point. I've said umpires, the best umpires, you don't know their names. They're like offensive linemen. Like the best ones, you don't know their names because you only hear their names when they're fucking up. That's the only time you should hear an umpire's name.
Or you get a guy like Jim Wolf, like where it's like, oh yeah, that was Randy Wolf's brother. That's kind of cool. Like other than that, like yeah, I had no issues with Jim Wolf.
Pretty cool unless Randy Wolf is pitching against you and Jim Wolf is calling balls and strikes. Then you're wondering.
He wasn't allowed to.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I forgot they had that rule.
Yeah. He wasn't allowed to umpire in games that his brother was even pitching in. So it's like he most of the time, I don't think was allowed to even umpire any of the game on the off chance that Randy Wolf had to like come in and like pitch, like even out of the bullpen or something.
Oh, really?
I think there was some rule about that.
I thought he just wasn't allowed to call balls and strikes.
Yeah, whatever. I don't know. You might be right. I'm all for that. That's fine. That's like a nepotism thing. Like, I'm good with that. But it's like, even like NBA officials, how many of them can you name? I can name you the fucking ones I think are stupid.
Mm-hmm.
You got Zach Zarba. You got, Bill Kennedy, I guess, is fine. Like, Bill Kennedy's the fun guy when he's like, okay, now we're going to get into why this challenge was successful. And he's good, but you got Ashley Moyer. She's an idiot. She's constantly getting shit wrong. Is she officiating in the playoffs right now? No. You know why? Because she's a moron. It's like she gets shit wrong constantly. Like,
I don't know who that is.
You got Zarba. He's a moron. You got he's an idiot. Like, there's just
Scott Foster.
Who's the asshole that like the Celtics are like 3,002 against? Who's that guy? Fucking dude was like he was Grant Williams goes nuclear on the Bucks game. That guy. That dude,
I don't know. I don't remember his name.
Or officiates a Celtics game. It's like, oh yeah, he's good. The Celtics are going to win that game.
Speaking of the NBA playoffs, last time we talked, our Wolves. And by the way, did you know they're Bart Winkler's Wolves too? They were up 2-0, and Anthony Edwards was dominating everything, and he was everybody's favorite NBA player, and that series has turned. Also, the Knicks were up 2-0, and we were happy about that because fuck Tyrese Halliburton and the Indiana Pacers, but that has turned, and now both those series are tied at 2, Drew, and I'm currently watching the OKC Dallas game where OKC is up, or no, Dallas is up 2-1 in that series, excuse me, but and Dallas leads right now 67-50. Something. I didn't see the score. They just went to a commercial. Playoffs not going how well. I mean, a tied series is a tied series, but not moving in the direction that we wanted them to with our rooting interests that are left in these playoffs.
No, I mean, I like Luka. He complains a lot. He's basically like me on this podcast. I got Luka mentality. I'm pretty pissed about everything. I don't think I didn't think Oklahoma City was going to be able to outsize. Like, I thought Oklahoma City could realistically get beat by like the Lakers if the Lakers made it, just because I don't like their size and they're just all so young. Like, I don't think that this is going to be the year that these guys do it. I just think that the Mavs have too many big pieces that can move guys like Chet out of the way, as talented as Chet is. I just don't think that Josh Giddey doesn't know what the hell he's doing off the ball anyways. Like, he is a myth on that team right now. They got too many guys like him that are better than him.
That's the thing, is that they got good players, but some places it's just not good fits. I don't think that roster is done being shaped yet in Oklahoma City. They got guys they can move and get pieces that are better fits and fit more what they need in terms of their depth or their well-roundedness.
They're a team that I look at, honestly, from like the Bucks perspective, and I'm like, veteran pieces we could move. Like I honestly do think, I know people are probably going to scoff at this, like they wouldn't like this, but like Connaughton for like a Josh Giddey, you're going to get a younger version and they will get a better older version of Giddey. And we don't have a guy necessarily like Josh Giddey. Do we need another white spot up shooter? Probably not. But like, I don't know. I'd like a guy who can, I don't know, shoot the ball a little bit more effectively. And they need a guy who's going to be a vet that can, I don't know, get some rebounds and make some decent passes and stuff. I just think Giddey's kind of a redundancy on that team right now.
I don't know about you, but the thing I want more than anything in these playoffs is the Wolves to win and come out of the West. I was feeling really good about the chances of that happening, but man, Luka last night. I mean, they're the champs, and they've shown you why in these last two games, especially last night. Dude, what they did at halftime and just what I said Luka a second ago, what Jokic was doing all night last night, man. When when he shows you why he's the MVP and maybe the best player on the planet, him or Giannis, in my opinion, like you really, it's one of those moments where you go, oh yeah, that's right. He's that dude.
Yeah, he's unreal. I mean, I love that like somebody posted something where it was like Jamal Murray like hit like a 17-foot, just like little face-up jumper, and they're like, name one other player that can do this, and it's like Chris Middleton can do that pretty well. Like I know those things on Twitter are always like, name one guy who can make that kind of 3-pointer. It's like a Dame can. Yeah, but like, yeah, the Knicks, they're getting bit by the Bucks injury bug now too. Like everybody on their team's dying. So once again, you got the skipping Pacers out there that are just fucking, dude. Halliburton is such a queef, dude. Oh my God, that pussy fart. He is just, that guy is, he is fucking air. Like it's crazy. He hit a 3 on Dante DiVincenzo. There's no OG Anunoby. Like fucking like Julius Randle's out. Like you got nobody on that fucking team besides Jalen Brunson. Like what? Josh Hart is your next best player? Fine, Josh Hart's a pretty good player. Like I don't have an issue with Josh Hart, but it's like you got fucking Precious Achiuwa starting, and you're sitting there. And you hit a 3 to be like you got 13 points. You're not even shouldering the offensive load on your team, and he looks at Dante DiVincenzo and goes, "This guy can't hold me." Dante DiVincenzo's not supposed to fucking hold you. The guy who's supposed to play defense on you is hurt. It's like,
and by the way,
does not understand the magnitude of luck that they are operating under. And there's like,
by the way, I still think the Knicks are going to win that series. I don't know about you. I still think the Knicks are going to win that series, and I still think Minnesota is going to win that series.
I think the Knicks will win that series. I think that might go. I just for whatever, I don't know what kind of fucking blood orgy that the Pacers had to do in that hellhole of a state. I have no idea what kind of goat was beheaded and they drew blood on the walls to get this goddamn whatever satanic ritual to get this little run of luck. I hope that the Indiana Pacers believe that this roster is it, and then in like 4 years we're going to be laughing at them the way everyone's laughing at the Hawks for thinking Trae Young was the guy.
By the way, how about the Hawks getting the 5th pick in the draft in the lottery?
No, they got the
second year in a row. No, they ended up 5th. Oh, no, not the Hawks. I'm sorry, the Pistons. The Hawks ended up 1st. The Pistons ended up 5th. For the second year in a row, they had the worst record in the league and ended up 5th.
I didn't even know the Hawks had the 5th worst record in the league. And I'm like,
yeah, that's what? Ridiculous. And now they're saying they're going to trade Trae Young. Any interest in Trae Young?
Do I have any interest in Trae Young?
Yeah.
No. What about just Murray? Can we get him? Like,
that'd be good.
Can we go back to the drawing board?
But he's another shooter. Does he play defense?
What?
Does he play defense? I don't think he plays any defense, does he?
Does Beasley?
No. But you're gonna be paying DeJounte Murray more than you're paying Beasley if you can somehow do that.
Yeah, no, that'll never happen. We won't get DeJounte Murray. I have no idea what the Bucks gotta do. But yeah, it's just like watching like the Pacers. I'm just like, what the fuck? Like how is this?
You're gonna go back to that? You didn't get that off.
It drives me crazy. Because I've had to root for the Knicks, which is also insane. It's either that or I just don't. And I was sick all last week, so it's not like it's like, hey Drew, why don't you just go outside and smell the roses? Because I couldn't smell. I couldn't eat solid food. I had to sit there and I had to watch the Pacers, and I just got more and more.
You have to watch that.
You know what I did? Because I wanted to feel better about myself yesterday while I was still getting over off and everything. You know what I did yesterday? When the Pacers were up by so much, I turned the game off in the 3rd quarter. I'm like, I'm going to watch something uplifting. I watched Apocalypse Now.
On that uplifting note, any final words, Drew, before we wrap this thing up?
Yeah, Rudy Gobert is absolutely terrible in the playoffs. That's a wild thing that's going on.
I mean, he's going against the MVP, dude. Like Jokic Jokic is going to do this to almost, and I know that's why you got Gobert, because he's supposed to be a defensive. He is a defensive specialist and a defensive stopper, and you get a great center, a great defensive center to try and stop the best offensive centers. But I mean, Jokic is going to do that, dude. It almost doesn't matter who's defending him. He's going to do what he did last night sometimes.
No, this is going to sound rich coming from a Bucks fan, but like, dude, Rudy Gobert cannot make free throws. Like, the amount of free throws that dude misses is wild. Like, it's like Giannis level, like hack-a-shack. Like Rudy, I don't know. And then like Cat just kind of he seemed like it didn't make. I understand them kind of stumbling game one. It's like the biggest game in like Minnesota's, history in the past, like whatever, 10 years or something. Getting, just having a round 2 playoff game.
You know what we should do? I think we're going to do this for tomorrow. I'm going to reach out to some friends in Minnesota, see if we can get somebody on the show tomorrow. And you sound like shit. You sound like you're ready to wrap this thing up. So, but I'd like to see how they're feeling up there, because that's a jittery bunch. Minnesota, not just Wolves fans, Minnesota sports fans at large are a jittery bunch, and when things start to go bad, they just assume they're going to get worse. So I'd like to see how they're feeling about this series and moving forward. I will. I'll effort somebody for tomorrow's show.
They should be rightfully jittery. Like, I wouldn't, like, it's not like there's no way that I would ever come out and be like, hey guys, it's all going to be okay. You're only playing Jokic. Like, that sucks. Like, that's not fun. It's an obstacle. It's going to be really good. And it's just covered in fucking razor blades. Like, yeah, it's like, okay, like there might be get out of this, but.
All right.
I'm not.
So we'll see.
It sucks.
We'll see who I can track down tomorrow. Until then, this has been episode 53 of Ramie.
I want to
and Drew. A lot of people watching tonight on Twitter and Facebook, and where else are we? YouTube. That's where we stream live, and we'd appreciate it if you did what we asked you to do on the bottom of the screen there, which is follow, subscribe, rate, review. Tell a friend to help us grow this thing. This has been Ramie and Drew, episode 53, and we will talk to you next time.